You are watching the Pan-African Daily TV with Dr. Susan Tata. The Africa we want. Unity, consciousness, our culture, our spirituality, our history. One Africa for Africans worldwide. Motherland's calling its diaspora home. Join my voice. Join my team. Join my campaign. Campaign 21 hashtag 1 million subscribers on the Pan-African Daily TV YouTube. Be a volunteer. Apply now. Be the new Africa. Greetings everyone. Greetings Pan-African Daily TV family. I hope you're joining me on this exclusive one-on-one conversation tonight, live on the Pan-African Daily TV, where we have our honorable guest, Dr. Melida Harris Barrow. All of you know this queen, starting back way back as COVID launched in, and most of the projects that actually connected us or that were making rounds on the continent and in the world at large is in Panama, where we started the first conference of the Journey of Reconciliation. You all that started the Pan-African Daily TV with me, Dr. Harris, our Queen Mother of Panama, that's how we call her. You know her. She's not a stranger to Pan-African Daily TV. So, but she's been hitting a lot. She's been doing a lot. She's been going around a lot. She's been, they've just been honoring her in different aspects. She's multitasking. She's multi-intelligent, just like superwoman of Africa. She's one of those. So tonight we just want to feel her, to get the vibe. What has been going on? What has she been doing all this time? What is actually her purpose and her mission in this point in time? And what should we be learning? I want to thank all of you that are already connecting on Pan-African Daily. John Africa, thank you so very much for always being here. I'm telling you, I can never stop appreciating your loyalty and of course, to the motherland Africa, to Africans, and particularly to Pan-African Daily TV. I truly appreciate your service. As a young man growing up, the respect you show and the way you love this continent, John Africa, is out of space. Of course, I do know every other person does that, but I'm saying it from a personal perspective. So continue to do that work and continue to empower and to engage and encourage your peers, okay, you youths of today. So like I said, we're going to be talking about a lot of things, but there's been a lot going on also on the continent of Africa in terms of geopolitics, not just on the continent of Africa, but also the world at large. Every single day, we keep hearing the U.S. newly elected president for the second time signing bills. It's just like Africans are saying, is it just the president that came in just to sign a bill today, tomorrow a bill? Like for the next 4 years, we're just going to be signing bills. Oh, I cut a debt here. I'm out of U.S. aid. I'm out of UN and all of that. So it's really... the world is spinning around, and we see the different types of leadership that are showing face. While most Africans, particularly from our perspectives, are saying, he looks like, yes, he's doing the right thing for his people, but some other people are saying he's just an entertainer as every other. Nothing is going to change. All those bills that President-elect of the U.S. is currently canceling or jumping out of this. In the next 4 years, when another candidate will come in, they will start swearing it again and start nominating again and start voting in those bills. So please, all we say, we drink water and mind our African business. Okay, so tomorrow we're going to have Al-Wahab, Farouk Al-Wahab, the boss of geopolitical topics in Africa. We call him the African encyclopedia. He's gonna be with us live tomorrow. So, but today, let us usher in the Queen Mother of Panama, beautifully sitting right here in my studio. As you can see her, she is always just on point, just in touch. you know, the smile, you know, the everything, my queen. You are just always on top. I mean, like, if people want to see you just from your appearance and just from that smile, that golden smile that you always keep up, lights up the hearts of Africans everywhere. I mean, I've been witness. I've been on your program. I've been face to face. We have eaten together. We have had, you know, commune together. So I know the kind of spirit that is right here. So I want to welcome you, Queen of Panama. I mean, it's been a while since
Yes,
2022. This is the time again that we're seeing your face on Pan African Daily. So welcome. How are you doing, my queen?
I'm doing good. I am doing very well. Thank you for allowing me to be here with you. Um, we've been busy with a lot of things. Haven't had times to be on TV shows or radio. I've been working, and the work is a blessing because God is giving us an opportunity to connect with each other. As you know, I am from Panama City, Panama, and um, my grandparents are from Colombia. And so we have been doing a lot of things. And next month, I want to say this first and then I'll say it at the end, that next month I will be in Nigeria, in Abuja and Lagos. And the reason being is because I was there in October of last year. I was invited by Elevate Africa, the king and the queen there. They had that event. And I discovered so many things because that was my first time going to Nigeria. What I've discovered is many things that um, was, well, actually, many don't know Africa and they speak about Africa in such a negative way without visiting. And my first time was wonderful. Even though I got ill, I ate something and I got ill. But one thing I can say, uh, practically the whole hotel, the staff, I am talking housekeeping, Tata. I'm talking to people I'm talking about the people in the kitchen, at the reception, the security. They came to my room and they all prayed for me. I
Mm,
have never, ever experienced anything like that.
mm.
They pray for my healing in such a way where, and they don't know me. But you know what? Every day that I walk in that hotel, hello, how are you? You doing good? Good. We lost that. We lost that. We lost that humanity side of us. We lost that. We are treating each other in such a horrible way. Not everybody, but many. And it's how you treat people. And I am telling you something, they prayed for me. And the next day, I am telling you, I was very ill. And they prayed for me. The next day, I was fine. I was fine, Tata. You know why I was fine? Because we have lost something in us, that spirituality in us. And what we have done is adopt the world's story about how Nigerians are this and Ghanaians are that, but mostly Nigerians. I didn't experience that. And some of you might say, well, that's you. No. What is happening is that the world has stigmatized Africa. You understand? And we have to fight back, but we don't have to fight anybody. We just have to come back to ourselves. What we have to do is to come back to our natural intelligence. Natural. When I'm saying natural, I mean God. We've lost it. And then we now have to come back to our spirituality. We have to start listening to our ancestors as well. And you and I was just talking about the journey of reconciliation of Mother Africa and her diaspora and how that came about. How is that? How did that, come about?
Mm-hmm.
The reason why is I had a dream. Most of the things that you see me doing is through a dream. And what I dreamt was me just walking, and this woman appeared to me. And this woman said to me, "You're doing nothing, Dr. Barrow." Just like that, with my name and everything. She was a Black woman, very short with white hair. "You are not doing anything." And I am in Africa, I'm in Latin America, and I'm all over the place. And that I dreamt that in 2020. And she said, "Follow me." And I followed her. She said, look to your right. And I looked to my right. You know what I saw? It's almost like I went back to slavery. And I saw these two men raping little boys. And I couldn't believe what I was watching. And then she said, "Keep walking." And I kept walking. And I just saw people weeping. "Keep walking," she says. Then I saw this woman hanging on a tree, pregnant. And he was telling everybody, "Look at what I'm getting ready to do." And he cut her stomach open, and the baby fell. Then I turned around and I looked at her and I said to her, "What is this?" But I didn't see her. She was gone. She gave me a message. Do you know who that was? Our ancestors. That's our ancestors talking to us. But we're not paying attention to God or our ancestors because we're too busy dealing with money, greed. You understand? No time for God. No time to even think about what our ancestors been through. In my area, in my region, Latin America and the Caribbean and so on, all we're doing is talking about the differences. You're from the Caribbean. You are from, no. You're from Africa. You're from Latin America. No. You know what we're doing? Tata, you are from Africa and I'm from Panama. So therefore, we are two different type of people, ethnic groups. I want to tell the world today. But before I say this, share what I am saying this minute, because this is going to get deep and I'm going to speak truth today. I am an African woman born in Panama. That's a difference. Everybody said because they're born somewhere, they're from there. Not realizing and not studying their history. Because you're born in Africa, you can't deal with Dr. Barrow because Dr. Barrow is from Panama. She's a different person when it comes to ethnic groups. But let me tell you guys something today. Let me tell all of you something today. We are the same people. And that's why we are in the condition that we are in today. You look at me different because I wasn't born in Africa. But let me tell you a secret. Let me tell you all a secret. Did you know Africa is the world? You keep telling the world, Africa is the mother of civilization. Then if it is, Africa is the world. When you knock the door in the Philippines, are they white? No. When you knock the door and you go to Australia, the native are the Aborigines. Am I right?
Hmm.
When you knock the door in Mexico, when you knock the door in Panama, all over, do you think Europeans been there before us? No. When you knock the door in Japan, go on Google. The original Japanese. So you are talking about Africa as though Africa is just on the continent. No, it's not. We're everywhere. But when Europeans got to Africa, they start naming, this is Nigeria, because the British took Nigeria, so this is Nigeria. You go to Ghana, somebody else conquered that, so that's called Ghana. Do you realize you are the same people, my brothers and sisters? Why are you fighting with each other? Because of your mindset. Let's talk about that. Your mindset. Your mindset is in a place, not in reality. You need to unveil the illusion of who you are. I did that long time ago. I wrote a book about unveiling the illusion. Know who you are. Because you don't know who you are. When I watch what is happening in the world, and let me just step back. Africa were not taught the geography. That's a problem. If I say Curaçao, do you know where that is? Put an X in this chat and say yes or no. If you do, put a check mark. If you don't, put the X. Because I want to show you that we're not using our natural intelligence that God gave us. They separate us for that very reason. How did I get on this show today? It's because of what I said earlier. And Tata saw it. And Tata said, you need to come on this show today. Because I have a lot in here to share with you. If you knew what we have to offer in Latin America, in other places that you don't know, you wouldn't be going to China. You wouldn't be going other places and be proud of where you are instead of let's build the world. Because you have been building the world for so long. You built the White House, and where are you? Just because we were taking, I want you to listen to me carefully. We were taking from Africa and other regions to go to North America, Latin America, the Caribbean, and the world to build something that Europeans could not build, to get the natural intelligence from us because they didn't have it. Come on now, we're going to be real today. Who built the canal? The Panama Canal. Who built it? We did. The Africans did. But this is how this is played now. Your chip that they place here is telling you, no, it's not Africans that build the Panama Canal. It is the Caribbean people. Where did they come from? From Africa. They came from Africa, but they're going to tell you, oh no, it's Jamaicans, it's people from Barbados. We are dealing with names. We are dealing with regions. We are dealing with flags. We are dealing with countries. But we are not dealing with the reality. It is Africans that built the Panama Canal. There is not one African business in the Panama Canal. Not one. You have everybody, but not us. And you guys see where I'm going now?
Nice.
You are so powerful that you don't even know that you are. We are dealing with a situation that the chip that was placed in us are being updated every second. It's being updated, listen to me, every second. Anytime you think you're going somewhere, let's talk about trade. I had a program in Colombia, in Cali, inviting Africans to be with the Africans in Colombia in order to trade together. Guess what? 100 and something visas was denied. Not one Africans were present. Not one. Can you imagine that? All visas denied. From Angola, from Ghana, from Nigeria, Ivory Coast, everywhere was denied. Why do you think the visas were denied? Why do you think that most of you, every time you're trying to go somewhere, your visas are being denied? You know why? They're updating the chip. They don't want you to work with your brothers and sisters around the world. That's damaging. Because you were there first. All throughout Latin America, all throughout the Caribbean, you were there first. You know what they're saying? Oh no, the natives was there first. And who are the natives? They were not white. They were black. So you was there first. They're trying to separate us. Not trying. They have separated us. And by continue to separate us, we're not going to make it. So I've heard Africans tell me, oh, we can do it. No, you can't by yourself. You have your brothers in India, even though they think they're somebody else. Oh, I'm from India. I'm India. No. They're attacking everybody. You're not special. I went to visit Addis Ababa the other day. And speaking to my brothers and sisters, they saying they're not African. That's what they say. They are not African, but they're darker than me. And even within the family, they're prejudiced even with their children. The lighter skinned ones. And if you're married a white man, you made it. Victory. But the darkie, you didn't make it. Stop it. You are so proud that the colonializers never colonialized you. Yes, they did. Here. They might not have colonialized you like in Africa. And I'm waiting for people to call me. Call me. You're proud that they didn't colonialize you. But guess what? Now you're saying you're not African. You don't deal with Africans. Eh? When are we going to stop denying who we are? The more you deny yourself, the more the chip is getting updated. You understand? So I got to go there and work with my brothers and sisters, which I've already done with the young people. That's key. All of you adults, when you're working and you're doing things, you don't have our youth involved. You don't even have the women involved. I'm going from one thing to the next because I have to get all of this out.
Go ahead, my queen.
I got to get it out because I'm sick and tired of conferences, forums, meetings, all of these things. You knock Dr. Barrow's door. I open it. You have a meeting for months. You want to do this program, and guess what? After that, you're done. Where are the action? Where's your action? Oh, Dr. Barrow, we want people from the diaspora to come. For what? I asked them for what? Well, we are having a program. No. To do what? Well, we want to do this and we want to do that. What is the purpose? What is your goal? What is your journey? What is your vision? What is the motivation in order for you to have the diasporans to come to you? Why don't you go to the diasporans? Go on and knock their door. Huh? And find out whatever you have, they might already have. Let's find out what we don't have. That's where the import exports come in. I am tired of meetings. It is very difficult for us to continue to have meetings and there is no action. Dr. Melida Harris Barrow is about action. I've been in action from I was 13 years old in Panama, knocking people's door, speaking of God. I'm still knocking doors, teaching our young people enough is enough. I have to teach you what I know, all what I know. My Nigerians, my Ghanaians from Mali, from everywhere in Africa. You're going to know what I know. I have to teach you now for you to teach the future generation. Because this generation here, I am proud of many of you that are doing that, teaching the young people. I'm proud of you. But those, which is the majority, you can't teach because you don't know. So it's time for us to educate each other. All you want to do, many, and I've encountered kings and queens. Oh, we having a program. Could you, Dr. Barrow, bring the diasporans in? For what? This is not a game anymore. This is our future generation's life you're dealing with. You have people in office, stealing. What are you stealing? You're stealing what you own? It makes no sense. It's like you bought your shirt, put it in the closet, and then you contemplating whether you should steal it for yourself again. That's the chip. If all of you in Africa were to think with your natural intelligence that God gave you, do you know how powerful that would be? You wouldn't have to leave your country and go to other country. Look at America today. You still want to go? You still want to be in America? Go to America? You see the wall that they built? It's not for the Mexicans. It's not for Venezolanos. It's not for Nicaragua. It's not for Africans. It's for the very same people that's there. Because if you keep getting rid of all those people, that makes that makes America great, you're going to want to run home. You're going to want to come back. What I'm saying is, it is time to get rid of that chip. It is time to build your lands that go for Mexico, that go for everywhere. Why are we running to people that hate us? Miseducating us? Why are we doing that? We are powerful people beyond measures. If we want to trade, let's trade with each other. If we want to do the great things that we are supposed to do, let's do it. We cannot talk anymore about the little things. I cannot spend time in meetings for an hour or two, and then you disappear. That will not happen to me again. The time is now. Action. The time is now. Action. You're doing festivals. That's the new thing now. You are doing when you talk about tourism, let's go into those countries and learn from each other. You understand? Let's learn from each other, and you will actually see that all the fruits and all the leaves and all the plants came from Africa and was already there in these regions. We should not have to wait for somebody to show us something for us to do. We need to focus. I don't like to see the children traveling to Spain and all over the place when they are rich in their own country. But it's just a few that has taken over and not blessing their children. Women are trying to go to Lebanon and all these places for work, and they end up in prostitution because they're abusing them. And you think governments don't know about this? They know. They definitely know. The Journey of Reconciliation was produced by me through the dream that I had in Panama. Tata was there. It was a wonderful program. You know why? I invited kings and queens to come to Panama to apologize for their ancestors, because they were also, not all kings and queens was also participating in slavery. And they came and they apologized. And they said, we apologize for what our ancestors have done. You understand? We have to come together. You know how many people say that? But I say it, but you got to get the chip out first. We can't come together just by talking. Many talk about peace. Okay, I got a challenging question for you. Peace and justice. I need you to tell me now and the world, where have you seen peace in this world, on this planet? When have you seen justice on this planet? Rome, Egypt, I can go on. Greece, I can go on and on. America, none. 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 But you know why? It is this. Peace starts here with you. Nobody should tell you and come and have a meeting about, hey, we need to bring peace to the world. No, it starts with you. As leaders, it starts with you. I cannot do what I do if I don't love myself. Self-love, my God. We don't have it anymore. Look around the world. I'm not making this up. When Africans can kill each other, chop each other head off. I've seen this in the Congo. I have seen this in Africa. I have seen this in Latin America, in the world. Killing each other. There's no peace. There's no justice. You understand? I woke up this morning. I don't know what happened to me, Tata, but I woke up this morning furious. And I think I was feeling this way because we keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. My God. And we have to stop it. You built America and you suffering in America. Huh? We have to change this mentality. I'm going to pass it over to you, and then you can ask me questions, because I will sit here and talk all day. You know. Go ahead.
It's okay. It's okay. Thank you so very much, Queen Dr. Melinda. I mean, we are always going to talk.
I know.
And there's always going to be something to talk about, because I think one of the biggest programming has to do with the media.
Mm-hmm.
The media is the biggest school. Of course, we have other institutions. If you look like the normal schools,
Mm-hmm.
not everybody is educated in that kind of a way, um, that we can say they're classroom, conservative education systems. But when we look at the media
Mm-hmm.
and the narratives and intentionally how they are placed right now is even more cool. Like most of them believe or they play cool, like, no, we are for you. But until you see that, you get the consciousness
Yeah.
behind, you just understand that this is another game, kind of like, just telling the one negative story all over until it becomes the truth. I mean, talking about the wars, talking about the poverty, talking about the disunity, talking about, I mean, anything that actually like kind of like divide us. I
Mm-hmm.
followed you ever since the journey of reconciliation. Of course, I was there. And thanks to the women on Pan African Daily TV, they actually, when we saw your project, everybody was like, Dr. Tata, you have to be in Panama. And it was quite a very interesting program, and all those kings and queens that came from all over, very huge. And the days, the way you manage, you could coordinate everything. You brought all these indigenous royalties and put that reconciliation exactly like you said. You're not just talking, like you said, I can talk the other day. You're somebody that is practical. You do the work in the background. And if we look at your hands, like we say, show your hands, you would know you've been doing so much in the background. You have so much experience. You've gathered so much knowledge. And if you look at the generation, like you say, you want to go to Nigeria, it's time for us to start teaching the young people. What is it that you think? Of course, you were in Nigeria, you were in Ethiopia.
Yeah.
We passed each other. You've been in Ghana. You literally everywhere on the
Yes.
continent. It's not just that. That was just part of
Yeah.
your trip there. Um, what is it? Like, just give us one thing that you say, this is what the young people should know. And how are they going to prove to you that we understand exactly what you were saying?
Mm-hmm. They already, when I was in Nigeria last year, I started then, because I saw the way they treat each other, the way their issues. There are a lot of issues where this needs to change, you see. And the first thing I want to do is let them know who they are as a people, you know. And the reason why they need to know who they are is because I suspected when I was young that I was special. And there's so many young people out there that are special, but they don't know who they are. I told this young man, do you know, um, I am proud of you because you are a great man. And he told me, no, I'm not a great man. Like, where did you get that from? That was the attitude. And what I want to start with is letting them know who they are. Because once you know who you are, you know where to go. I need to let them know their history, you see. Because I notice in the Caribbean and in Africa, especially, they're always trying to pretend, let me sit behind this desk. I want to feel important. No, it's not about a feeling. You are. You understand? And in slavery, they did not teach us to read. If they caught you reading, you're dead. And I understand why now. I didn't understand before. In Panama and Latin America, still many places, they don't want you to know about Africa. I didn't know about Africa until I went to the United States at 16 years old. Everything was about the pirates. Everything was about England. Everything was everything but me. So if you don't see anything of you, you're going to hate yourself. That's when the self-hate comes in. And then you want to be somebody else that everybody is elevating. You see? And it's very important that they know who they are for the new generation. You see, when we talk about the youth, we're telling them, oh, you are the future, but you don't deal with them. You're not teaching them anything. So imagine those of us, do we have 50 years here? I know I don't. So what's going to happen to the future generation? So the most important thing for me is to let them know who they are. Self-love, inspire them, motivate them, let them know that they don't have to go all over the world, you see, in order to be who they are. They are suffering when they leave Africa, when they go to Spain, when they go to different places. Why should they? So this is where I come in and my team. Yes, go ahead.
No, sorry. It's okay. I didn't want to interrupt. The young people of Africa are saying something very, very loud and clear.
Yes.
I take an example. Even when you have a pet, and most of the times you're eating, you're not giving the pet.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? I mean, the pet understands you like, this is my owner, and I'm hungry, and he eats without feeding me. The young people on the continent don't trust the the
Yeah,
the situation in which they are. Like
exactly.
you said in the beginning, being coming from such a rich continent, they die crossing the oceans because of the programming and that.
Exactly.
The young people in Europe don't have those issues.
No,
Like they
no.
know this is what is going to happen because their
Yes.
ancestors and their leadership has prepared a better future for them. So when
Mm-hmm.
you when you sit and you're dialoguing with the youth in Europe, they listen, they
Yes.
learn. It's not
Mm-hmm.
literally like going to school. They understand because they have hope.
Mm-hmm.
They must not even really know about their history, what happened,
Yes.
is that they have a future in their hands already before
Yes.
talking about the next generation. They can pay their
Exactly.
bills, they can run their lives, they can actually live a life that is human. They make choices from their purpose in life. They have opportunities, like you
Mm-hmm.
want to learn a trade or you decide to want to work. But the African child is not that.
No.
African child is a child that looks at the parents, like I said, the owner, that's the leadership, and the leaderships throw away their face at them.
Yes.
So that's why I said it is, yes, in as much as a few want to know, how
Mm-hmm.
is it that we can transform this knowledge into, like, I know you're coming from the background of trade, you're coming from the background of how to do business with one another. Is it also a plan for you to connect these young people with
Mm-hmm.
opportunities out there that we know they could actually, I don't think literally if they know their purpose of traveling is good. It's not a bad thing. But I know what you're saying. The traveling by
Mm-hmm.
thinking that you are not worthy, that's
Yeah.
why you travel. But
Mm-hmm.
now the issue is,
Mm-hmm.
how are we, parents, elders, mothers, elders, going to convince our babies, our youths, that
Mhm.
we truly, really love them. We are in leadership and control. We manage resources and even do business and do deals with others, but we are not able.
To finance, to give them the resources. Is that what you're saying? Yeah. Now, let me just clarify something here. I don't just do trade or business. I do more, believe it or not, work with the youth
I believe.
and women, because I cannot just do business. I also inspire. I have a youth ambassador program, and it's not just business. I think hardly of it is business. It's more preparing them for the future and for the now. They hate the fact, and this is not just children in Africa or the youth in Africa. These are youths around the world. What it is that, I'll give you an example. In Addis Ababa, the youth would tell me when I hug them, thanks for hugging me. I go, thanks for hugging you. Why? Because I don't get that at home. Thanks for telling me that I'm great. I don't get that at home. Thanks for inspiring me. I don't get that at home. You see, we are so focused, and there's two separate things here. Those that can provide for their children and those that cannot.
Mm.
So let's talk about those that can provide for their children. They send them off to the university in the US or in wherever. And they come back. Most of the time they come back home. Can't find a job. That's not what I do. What I do is prepare them that when they come out of that university, it's time now to learn about your natural intelligence and who you are.
Mm.
Okay? It's time now to teach them. You didn't go to college just to come back home. You were trained to do something. That's what college is about. You got to be trained to be a doctor, a lawyer, da 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 da. But you have something deeper. You have a gift that God gave you. Let's monetize that. And if you want to be a doctor, you're going to monetize it anyway, because you get paid to do a job. But we have things within us that we don't even know how to monetize it. And I know everybody that's watching this show will say, you know, I love to do this, and I just go to work for the money. But I love to do this. Do you realize that you can monetize that? Because when I was in my early 30s, I realized I don't like to work for anyone. I'm only there 6 months and I'm gone. And I was doing this. And my father used to tell me, you know what? You're not going to get a pension because you keep quitting. I said, that was your time. That was your time. I'm going to use what God gave me, but in an intelligent way. I'm going to master this to educate others. The young people of today, they lack information. Just like adults, you lack information. And when you don't have the information, what happens? Nothing. So my job is to provide them information that their parents didn't have. Actually, they were taught, send your children to college, send your children to college. And now they're realizing that, wow, those that, and they only give them like 3 careers. Oh, be a doctor, be a lawyer, because that's what was instilled in the chip.
Exactly.
So the African mothers say, you know, when they're successful, this is them. My son is a doctor. Because what she's doing,
a lawyer.
the lawyer, she's sharing that information to those that don't have. That empowers her. Has nothing to do with the kids. And the kids are fighting, marry this woman. She's from Ibadan, and you don't marry anybody because our religion is this or our this is this. They never allow their children to live or to experience other things. They don't say, be a pilot, because they were not taught to tell their children to be a pilot. Remember, the chip is what have us the way that we are today. So what I do, I go in, I want to know, what is it that you want to do? What is it that you dreamed of? But parents, African mother and father, and you know you do this, be a doctor, be a liar, and that's it. You don't even want them to go further than that. And you laughing, Tata, because you know it's true.
It's true.
Two careers. That's it. Doctor, liar. When a child come home and say, oh, I want to do this computer, are you crazy? Doctor, liar. Because that's how they were educated. They're not using their natural. You don't even want your kids to even say, I'm going to be an astronaut. Let me tell you something. When a child comes home and say, I want to be this, and if you don't have any money, you look at them and say, are you crazy? Where am I going to get the money from? That's the first thing they think of. They're not even trying to see what they can do for their children. It's done, shut down. So this is a very delicate situation, what you're talking about. So I've been through that. You understand? And many of us been through that. And we have to be, it's a very delicate situation that when I get to Nigeria and the rest of the 53 countries in Africa, because it's not just Nigeria I'm going, it's Africa, then Latin America, because I have so much in here to change.
Absolute.
And I have had drug dealers, I have had addicts, but nobody know my story. But I've done that. They have gotten off. They don't want to be drug dealers no more. They want to do this legally, and they have. You know why? Because I told them, you're either going to go 6 feet deep or you're going to be in jail. Which one do you want? You have a choice, and you don't want neither one. So let me take what you have. Basically, you've been saving and saving. And what are you doing? You're getting ready to die, and you're getting ready to go to prison. The mindset. I took the chip out, and it's not giving them another chip, but let them realize really who they are and their natural gifts and their natural power that they have from God. That's it. So when I get there, those of you that are watching me in Africa, I need your help. I don't want to have meetings and talking and no, I need your help. I need you. God is guiding me, but I need you to realize now that, yes, I wasn't born in Africa, because that's what you say. Oh, she's from Panama. You know, she don't know nothing about us. Sometimes I have to tell you, I know more about you than you know about yourself. Because guess what? I took the chip out and I realize now who I am. You still thinking that you are powerful, kings and queens, especially kings. I have a message for you. I have a message for you. If you want respect from your people, respect them. If you want respect from your village, you also have to respect your people. This is no longer about, I'm the king, so you do what I tell you to do. I am the king. Look at Africa today. I have proof that you're no longer in the positions that you used to be in. The young people are not respecting their kings anymore. Build and create. That's what we are supposed to do. We are so busy telling our people to respect us. Let me tell you something. I don't have to tell no one to respect me. I've earned it because of the work that I do. So what I am saying is we have to get back on track, everybody in Africa and the world. We have to get back on track, because if we don't get back on track, there's so many kings that are not really kings that's out there portraying that they're kings. Can't do that and expect people to respect you. You can't be kings and you're deceiving the people. You can't be pastors and deceiving the people. You have pastors. I have a message for you guys too. And this is not just in Africa. You are hurting our people. Not all of you. There are great pastors out there. But there are pastors, honey, that are hurting the people. And trust me, karma is a very difficult and hard thing. We have to help our people. All the money should not go into this huge building. For what? There are people that are starving. There are people that don't have homes. And you're telling me that you take that money and building mega churches. For what? From 9 in the morning or 8 in the morning until 12? Then the church not shut down until 7. People was going through COVID, had nowhere to go. Open your churches. Feed the people, and you would see how blessed you are. There's so many topics that our youth don't believe in you anymore. When you talk to a youth about God, they might believe in God, but not the way they should. It's because of you. It's because of the things that you do. Let's deal with the reality, my people. Let's deal with the truth. Dr. Melida Harris Barrow is about the truth. You don't like that. Many of you that I know. But that's not my problem. My issue is the young people. The women can't even speak because you have dominated them so much. Not only did the world give them a chip, you did too as men. You shut them down. You don't respect them. You beat them. Come on now. Come on. And you expect God to bless you? You cheat on them. When I watch Nollywood, that's all I see in Nollywood movies. You're cheating, you're dating, you're going from this one to the maid. I mean, come on. What are we doing to ourselves? I want to see some more educational things on Nollywood. I want to see how a man should treat a woman and vice versa. But we lost those things. So Tata, I'm also not just into the business. Always remember that. But I'm working with women, and I'm working with the youth, and I'm working with the family. Because what we do is, we have a women's program. We have a youth program. What about the family? Because when the wife come home to the husband and tell him, guess what? I learned this. I did this. He don't want to hear it because he wasn't there. Family. We have to bring the family back in Africa and in the world. And this is not a black and white issue. This is something that God wants. The floor back.
Absolutely. Thank you, my doctor. I think when I said the business or the trade actually was, this is business, of course,
Yes,
mentoring,
exactly.
mentoring young people or trade. That's the biggest business that I think every us or those that are inspirational, motivational teachers, just like we have you and the scholars that are coming here to teach us. I don't
Yes.
think there's any business in the world that is more than this business right now that we're
Agree.
doing, teaching
Agree.
ourselves and teaching our young people. So
Yes.
that is the trade-off of what the
There you go.
experiences that we have. I wasn't talking about those kind of trade, like in terms of
Oh,
buying
okay.
things down
Yes.
here,
Yes.
but
Yes.
it's our own way of trading with one another. I truly appreciate, and you're doing a lot of that, even not just only that, connecting,
Exactly.
or bridging that gap between the parents, the families, and the most essential things that you've actually touched here that are so crucial
Exactly.
to our unity. And
Yes.
yes, so doctor, I
Yes.
also know that, I mean, we didn't even first of all introduce you. You've been in the rank, in so many ranks right here. You are into the ranks. You talk to the kings, you talk to the queens, you talk to the young people, you talk to the leaders, you talk to, I mean, like literally, you mentor all the different intergenerational and
Yes.
kind of like fuse and connect and network them together.
Mhm.
One thing that I know about you is also negotiations. Like you negotiate the leadership with the young people together,
Mhm.
kind
Mhm.
of like fuse this
Yes.
unity in terms of, hierarchy, in terms of, politics. Or when we talk about politics, we can't talk about it without talking about the economics and stuff. But the basis of what you say is what I think, not I grew up on the continent. I'm born and raised on the continent. And when we come out, and we also had to learn, I also had to learn that in the Caribbean are my siblings, in America are my siblings.
That's
Even when
correct.
I came, it still took me a whole lot of journey to understand, because African history is not the history that we learn. We learn about European
Right.
history, completely different in Africa. It's always, bamboozled, all of us. We learn
Exactly.
about fishing in Norway, and we don't even know our rivers.
Right.
And so that is one of the key things that you said, that we don't study geography. Geography is, where are my people? Like you said, if you even say Panama, and somebody don't even understand whether Panama is existing on this space, talk less of who are the indigenous of. So I think we really have a lot to teach. And your
Yes.
beginning in this story of who you are means know your story, tell your story, know the world story, know what the world tells about you and what you think about the world.
Right.
I think in all that concoction makes your project very interesting, very important.
Mhm.
What do you want us? How can we support? How, when I say how can, I'm supporting by the media to share this
Exactly.
story,
Mhm.
or of course we also have our own media program to go around the whole continent in the same light, talking to young people, teaching them
Mhm.
about particularly the media, the school of media is the biggest ever. If you look at the networks, whether all this mainstream media, it's just owned by one person, and they
Yes.
only network with this and this and call it differently. So when you see a story that is bad in this one, you're going to see that story bad in every other space.
Right.
So
Right.
my job, or what we're doing on Pan African Daily, is to empower the young ones that are coming out from these media universities and stuff like that. How do report the world according to how you see it?
Yes.
And how do you tell your story? So I think there's really a lot of work, and I can see you're just started.
Yes. I just started the fact that I am going to be coming into Africa, first Nigeria, in order to work with the youth, the women, family and so on. Because what I see in Africa is that we are having all these discussions about business and about these different things, but we're not including the youth, even women. So the support that I need is exactly what you are saying, the media. Number two, I need the support of universities, organizations, government. And I say government because, and I know a lot of people are disappointed in government, but I think it's time now for you to realize, for government to realize that the more we provide information for our people, the more you're going to have a better country. We need to communicate more with our people. And the reason I say that is because I'm watching what is happening to the rest of the world, even at the journey of reconciliation. And I thank Panama so much for, helping me to give me that support. But then there was another section with immigration that it was very difficult. Same problem with visas. There's some Africans came in, but not the rest of them. Mm-hmm. And that was disturbing. So that's part of government. Racism. We have to really recognize that there's racism in our communities, just as well as Panama and Colombia, all over the world. So I want to teach our children, don't allow racism to make you feel that you cannot do anything. Because the first thought you say, okay, I want to do this, but they're not going to let me because I'm Black. Don't do that. Don't ever do that. Because when I was living in the US and I came back home, I left in 76 and I came back in 2003. And many Panamanians was telling me, Black Panamanians were saying, I don't think that they would allow you to do this or allow you to do that. Well, I did it. You understand? I did it. I did many things here in Panama because I didn't allow. Not to say that there's no racism. There is. But I have found ways to knock the door, and I've found ways to get things done. We need to, I need the support with organizations. You need somebody to speak with the women to, when it comes to agriculture, when it comes to starting businesses, when it comes to all these things. I'm there. I'm going to be speaking in Mali coming up soon. And I will let you know just in case somebody wants to, wants to do that. But we have different ways and how to change a world. It starts with you. And I'm talking not community, but the world. So I need the support from all of you, if you can't. Business side, there's so many things you don't know about outside of Africa. And that's why I talked about the geography. Just one example, you want avocado, go to Mexico. You can go to Panama. You can go to Colombia. We have the information and where you can trade, the things that you can do. We have gold mine. We have mines in Colombia and in Panama and different places. You understand? So what I'm saying is that the 6th Region Global Chamber of Commerce, we have the information because I've been studying this for a long time. And I understand why you do more import than you do export. So when it comes to those things, we can do business. When it comes to women, also, you have programs, I'm there. I can inspire you, motivate you, get you to start your businesses. um, and so forth. So, and the youth, we can build them up. So there's a lot of things that we can do. I see some questions or some statements. Yeah. I can't hear you.
I'm sorry. Africa Global is saying nobody wants to leave their home because there's no place like home. But it's
That's right.
just that they actually have the misleaders, like their leaders on the continent is actually what is driving the young people on the continent.
That's right.
And I think before he said something also that I thought was that made a lot of sense when he said we keep telling them to stay in Africa and do business. How do they do it? How do they do it with no source of finance, no source of
Exactly.
income? So how do you even? And I
Right.
think those are the questions that I was trying to raise, like being in that situation, like you cannot
And
even
I
feed
agree.
yourself. You can't
Yes,
even feed yourself talking of wanting to know what my history is. So the young
exactly.
people, they find it so difficult. But of
Yes.
course, it's also because they don't know who they are. Because if they know who they are, then they will understand that they're living on mine and diamond and gold and copper. How can I do that? You can literally trade anything and somebody would buy it. So
But
I
the thing
think
is who owns it?
who owns it?
Who
Exactly.
owns it today?
Yes.
So what our young people are doing, they're leaving and they're going to these countries trying to make it. But the thing is that when you make it, because one thing I've realized, my father took me at the age of 16 to America because he's
Mhm.
saying that he wants me to have a better opportunity. So I went to America. I'm back to Panama. And what I'm doing, I'm investing with the money that I have. I'm investing and I've invested in Panama. You understand?
Mhm.
So we have to also to say, okay, we have land because Africans are saying we have land. Come to Ghana. We have land.
Mhm.
But the thing is that we have to we have to also understand something that's very tricky here. Most people look at America, it's nice, it's beautiful, da 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 da.
Mhm.
But when we talk about the food, we have better food in Africa than we do in America. Those things make you sick because most of the food now in America is not good for us. When COVID came, more people was dying in America than in Africa. You understand? So it's good and it's bad. You understand? And our children, I don't blame them. They're looking for opportunities. Why? Because government, organization, companies are not doing anything for them. That have to change. We have to change that. And if we don't change that, they're going to continue to leave. And by them continuing to leave, guess what? There are others that's going to come and take over Africa. And matter of fact, it's happening, and it
Mhm.
happened,
Mhm.
you know.
Yeah.
So treat your kids with respect. You have universities, you have them going to universities, and when they come up, they're going right back into the community they left. Yeah.
Thank you. I mean, we can never have enough from you, but or like I said, we can never have enough from you of
Yes.
you. So, what does your programs look like? Like, if people want to follow you, I follow you because I mean, we're in touch on other things. Like,
Yes.
when can they actually going to get access to you? Do you have this information on your website where they can know how your program is,
Yes.
how does your mentorship program looks like? Of course, I'll be sharing it also
Yes.
on our news page, but like
I'm going to
information.
can we put the there's a lot of people that wrote things. I'm going to put my information. Should I put my information here?
Oh
Just
yeah,
the
sure.
website and
Of course. Of
yeah, yeah,
course.
yeah, yeah. I'll put that here. And then what we can do, oh, I don't know, it's not doing anything. Connector. Oh, I'll let them get it from you. Here it is, I think. I can't get in for some reason.
What is the website? Is the sixth region?
Yeah, it's the sixth region, 6TH.
WW6 region.
Right. Sixth region, Global Chamber of Commerce.
Global Chamber of Commerce.org. .org?
Yeah, .org.
I hope. Sixth region, Global Chamber of Commerce.org.
Yes. Yeah, but six
okay.
with the 6 and then TH.
Yes, that's what I get it. Sixth
region, Global Chamber of Commerce.org. That's right.
Wonderful.
And then what they can do, do me a favor, could you put on there my email address? That would be more direct.
Yes.
Yeah, put Melida, MELIDA, Barrow 14 at gmail.com.
14. Oh my God, at gmail.com. Yes.
Yeah.
Melida Barrow 14 at gmail.com. So yes, I mean, you can also watch the journey of reconciliation on YouTube, I think, isn't it?
Yes, actually, it's on YouTube. There's so many things on YouTube that we have done. Yeah, but I just want to remind all of you that let's work in a way where with action. Tata. We have to work with action. We can't have a group that's sending things and everybody is, it's good for us to come together and communicate, but whatever you write, be conscious. Let it be with action. That's what I say. Let it, because you know me, everything that comes out of my mouth, a month later, 2 months later, there's action. And those of you that want to do business, not just in Latin America and the Caribbean, North America, anywhere else, let's do it. Those young people that need help, you need help because so much have happened to them. We're willing to help you because we're doing it already with our youth ambassadors. Women, I know women go through so much. We can do it. We can empower you, to do the great things that you do. Somebody wrote and said we have poor leaders, the mind, because they don't know who they are. If they did, they wouldn't have to do the things that they're doing. So let's empower each other in the world. Like I said earlier, Africa is the world. Africa is not just a continent. We are in the world. Yes. Thank you very much.
No. Are you going? We must
no. I'm just saying that it's in the world because no matter where we go, and this have been hidden for so long that when we talk about Latin America, we just look at Spanish people. We don't know. And when I say Spanish, they're mixed. So we don't see people like Tata. We don't see people like myself, but we're there. And you can do business with us there. You can, because most of the things that I do too is connect our young people with the young people in those regions.
Absolutely.
And we work together, So all those things we do. So it's time for action, man. Don't knock my door if you're not ready for action. Don't call me for no conferences and we talk and we leave. If you're going to invite me to a conference, I come in to speak, and then after that, we're going to go into action. That's it.
Indeed. Indeed.
Amen.
That's the spirit. Action.
That's
2025.
it.
There's no more talking, too
No
much
more
talking.
talking.
But of course, you'll be
Yes,
talking on my show. When you want to talk, come to Pan African
yes,
Daily. And when
yes,
you talk,
yes.
you connect, you go and do the action in the background, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. That's what it's about. You know, we
Exactly.
talk too much. We are professional talkers. You know, meanwhile you talking, your those that conquered you, you know, colonialized you. They're planning. They're updating your chip. So get that chip out. Unveil the illusion. Know who you are.
Yeah. Doctor, please, one more question before you
Yes.
leave. I mean, we have more minutes with you. Like you would say, even talking is a business. Because on Pan African Daily, I want to empower women and youth to talk and make money.
Yes.
Because the biggest
Yes.
money is in talking.
Yes. And
I
people
mean,
don't realize that.
talking actions.
You know what? I have to say this before I leave. When I was younger, I think I was like 12 or 11 years old. And believe it or not, I used to be in the bathroom and I used to be talking. And my grandmother used to say, who are you talking to in there? But I think I was born a leader because I would be speaking and this and that and that. And after that, when I was in church, I'm there, blah, 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 blah. And then the pastor used to say, Sister, I was only 11 years old. You have to stop talking because you're interrupting my, him, his speech. So I said, okay. So a new pastor came and he realized my talent. So he made me a Sunday school teacher at 12 years old. But he put me in the back of the church, like outside in the back. And I would be out there and Solomon this and then he said to me one day, he said, you know what? One of these days that you're going to be a leader and you're going to be speaking all over the world. Thank you, Cachedong. In 19th Street, Rio Bajo, he told me that. And here I am. So we can monetize this also, talking. You just need to know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I think Sister Snovia is saying something very powerful here. And
Yes,
because, I think when we say talking, it's like there's no action, there's no power about all
yes,
the talks. That's why when we say talking, it's not like people don't talk, people speak every day. But this kind of talking that we're talking is you talk and make money. You
yes,
can make money. You talk for a living. You talk for a
yes,
purpose. You talk to empower people. It must not be just on the paycheck, but there are a lot of people that have been resurrected, that are
yeah,
living, that have hope and everything because of
yes.
just talking to them. And I think this is the kind of talking you're talking about, like
That's the talking I'm talking
mentoring,
about.
the
Yes,
mentoring or the teaching or the preaching or the everything. Imagine there are a lot of people that without saying a word, they say a lot, of course. There are
yes,
also people that are created.
yes.
So I think
Mhm.
we have different gifts and people are gifted for a main purpose. If you were born to talk, then you talk to empower and elevate your people and talk to even make money. Just like Sinova is saying, yeah, talk is good, but we need to organize. I think the
Right.
talk that we're saying is all the leaders talking something with no power behind it.
No
They cannot
power.
feed their youth.
Yes,
They cannot provide healthcare. They cannot provide jobs. Of course, for those that want, they cannot
yes,
provide a business loans for them to start a
yes.
business and to earn a life. They cannot provide security.
Mhm.
So that kind of talk is cheap. That kind of talk is noise. That's why everybody thinks Africans are just talking. Yes, we're talking because there's no power behind the talks that we are
Yeah,
speaking.
there's
But
no
we
action, you
exactly.
know.
But we Dr. Melida
Right.
Harris, you
Yes.
talk, you act.
Yes. Because you can go on my YouTube. You can type Dr. Melida Harris Barrow and you will see all kind of stuff. And you can go to Google and type Dr. Melida Harris Barrow. I'm in action all the time. No matter where I go, I'm in action, you know. And whomever knock my door, I let them know I am not going to sit here for an hour, 2 hours just talking. What actions do you have after the program? That's it. After the program, what are we going to do?
Thank you.
Yeah. So that's it.
Absolutely. It's so wonderful to always have you here, Dr. Melida Harris
Thank
Barrow. Of
you.
course, you
Thank
are
you.
a powerful woman.
Thank
You're a
you.
teacher, you're a motivational inspiration, but you are actually a mentor.
Yes.
I've seen you mentor not just young people, I mean, like you were born for that. You are actually born to
God
mentor
bless me with
people.
it. Yes.
And
Yes.
your mentorship has actually give hope, give life, give really a meaning to people that look back all the time. I see when they
Yes.
even post a comment on the things you do and the speech you did in Ethiopia. Hey, girl, that was killer. I know, I know it was hard. It was hard for people to actually believe, or
I
most
got
of
in
the things.
trouble. I got
Yeah,
in
you
trouble
got
for
in
that.
trouble. I
I
saw
was
that
told,
photo.
I said, look, I'm from Panama. When we speak with our hands. And this is what we do when we make a point. That's it.
But that's how we speak in Africa too. Naturally, African people, we are
Very
multi-active. You
active
know,
with our
we cannot
hands when we
just
speak.
speak.
Yes.
No, 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 no. That's not
Yes.
us.
Yeah.
Yes.
They got to watch that video. They got to watch the video.
Wonderful. It will be a pleasure
Thank you.
to kind of like connect with you again. Let us know when
Yes.
your program is coming up, like the one in Nigeria. Honestly,
Yeah,
we'll
I'll let you
actually
know
follow
when I'm
you
in
on that.
Nigeria and we can do this program
Yeah.
and let the people know because I'm going to need a lot of support in Nigeria. Those of you that lives there, yes, just contact me, Melida Harris Barrow. No, Melida Barrow 14 at gmail.com because what it is that the information that I'm providing is not really being given in African countries to get to know other people from Latin America and the Caribbean and North America and the world. You know, we
That's for
have
sure.
that information. And that's what I was talking about, the geography. You have to know the geography, the countries in those regions. You have to know what they have so we can, because we need a lot of things you need. You know what we need, especially the women, Tata? The African fabrics. We don't have any in that region. We have
Yeah,
a few.
but you
We
know,
have a few.
During the Africa Day celebration, remember the one that we had in the Panama City, and
Exactly.
you went to
Exactly.
the shops because it was all about this kind of like carnival period. But
Yes.
the stuff that they had there were actually just these prints from China. I mean, it was so it
That's
was colorful and everything, but it was just crazy. Like if
that's
we
my point. That's
and
my
we talked
point.
about it, remember? It's
Yes.
not happening.
And it's still the same way. Everything that we're getting is from China. I am telling you, my African ladies and men, we need fabric, African fabrics, the real thing in the whole of Latin America, the whole of there's money to be made, but the
Of course,
problem
there's money.
is that you don't know what we need. We need that. That's the type of conversations we need to have the next time.
I mean, the way you chat here, like, that's the hot blood. No, of course, you're saying something very important because
Yes.
the mindset or the chip that you keep talking about is, Africans have been trained to understand that, and it's true. Even like now in February, like there's no money. Of course, come and give me a break. There's so much money, particularly
Yes.
out here in Europe. There's so much money, so much that even the Europeans, they just give the money to their pets and give them as will or everything. There's so much money. We just need
Yeah,
to
we don't.
do the work,
Right.
connect
We don't
our
need.
young people,
There
teach
you
them how
go.
to
We
make the
don't do
money.
the work. Yes. We
Yes.
don't do the work. There you go. Because this is what happens. The Europeans come to Africa. They get your fabrics. They get your diamonds. They get everything. Then they go to their country, deliver. Then they come to in those regions in the Caribbean, blah 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 blah. They cultivate, and then they take that and then export it to you. It's just like the free zone in Panama, the second largest free zone in Panama. You don't see not one African, but you built it. Not one African have a business there. What you can do, just to give you an example, that's re-exporting to Africa. You can come start a business there and then provide that service to many other Africans, okay, for them to re-export their products from the free zone. And there are many other projects also from the Panama Canal. So what I'm saying is that there's so much. Those of you that don't have a business, those of you that say, well, I don't know how to do business. It's a very simple thing. Exporting, importing is a very simple thing. It's not that difficult. So we can teach you and how to do it. All I'm saying is, I'm thinking also about starting the business with the fabrics, because it's a demand in May. When the month of May comes, everybody is celebrating.
Of Carnival, of your Carnival. Remember, we talked about it last time when we went around the whole city. We could not find. I mean, I was with Stevie. We went around the whole of Panama City. We could, because my luggage did not arrive, so I had to look for a dress.
That dilemma.
I had to look for a dress, and we went around the whole shop. We could not find one single African fabric shop. We could not even find African shop for food. There was nothing. We could not even find a store where you can buy fufu, our indigenous food and stuff like that.
Nothing.
But everybody wanted to eat it. Everybody wanted to actually. I mean, Panama is the big before, after just came now the African Continental Free Trade. We used to know about NAFTA. NAFTA was the North American free trade zone, even though Africa now is the biggest, of course, because it's the second largest continent. So we need to train our young people. And this is the thing that I asked the question when you say you are going to tell them to know about themselves. Know about themselves is the power for us to trade. Kofi is also saying, hey, mother, this is Blessed Friday. What are you thinking about interconnection of marriages? Of course, our young people can intermarry. Those are all unity projects.
There's a whole lot of things that we can
all
do.
The time. Well, we're always just saying about unity, culture, and everything, and we never talk about the. We don't talk about the connections. We don't talk about how to really do business, like you say. There's nothing just difficult in
doing it. We have our company been doing it, trying to bring you over to these different countries. The problem is that they're not giving you visas because they know the power that we will have if that happens. That's the problem. You see what I'm saying? So we have to find a way that I can come over there and explain to you and bring people, like somebody from the free zone, somebody from the Panama Canal, somebody from the different sections, even what the person's saying, the connection between the women and the men and whatever, and tourism and whatever. It can happen. You know what's failing? Action.
That's action. Dr. Mélida, and another thing, I mean, you're just charging me up again.
Come on, girl.
There's just too much coal out here that we just freezing. But when we come on the show like this, we just bubble all around, particularly us, the women. We cannot just sit and just not talk like this. That's why we need more women on this show. We need more vibe. The mother nature, the spirit of the mother to support.
That's us.
One thing that we are not saying and we are not doing, I think you've mentioned it in all your conversations all the time. And I love that aspect of you of saying we should stop complaining of not always doing it, we just do it. And doctor, I say we should teach our people to be smart, to not rely only on visas. There are a lot of ways to travel this world without visas.
We can meet somewhere else.
if they don't give people the visas, it means they're literally just telling them, come in another way. We will not bother how you come in, but just find yourself in. Isn't that a point where we need to teach our youth how to
yes.
travel?
Oh,
It's
yes.
business, isn't it?
And I'm going to tell you something. I love what you're saying, because it's not all the time going to a place. It's providing the information to the
Yes.
youth or whomever. Because I've done this before, where I will take the tourism, the head of the tourism. I will take all these different entities and then bring them to you. You let us know what you want, but we will prepare you before that. And once that happens, we are the one that provide the information to you, the products. Because when an organization is formed in the sixth region, I mean on the free zone, you come in, we have everything. You come in, you buy the products, and guess what? Export it back home. But you're doing it, not somebody else. Hello.
Hi. That's it. We look. We are not going behind to beat around the bushes and say we have to teach our young people how to travel. We have to teach our young people how to marry.
That's right.
We have to teach our people, and also the diaspora, not only the young people, even the diaspora too. The diaspora is very ignorant about this. All these connections, marriages, the law is not forbidding anyone. There are possibilities for you to travel. There are possibilities for you to get nationality if you get married or by birth. That's why you see Donald Trump is saying no recognition. But we have to teach our young people the reality. For me, that's the truth. All this politicking, try to always coin in, and then when you say they say it's diplomatic. What's diplomatic about it? We need to teach the young people.
That's why I am coming to Africa. Is to do everything I talk about.
Yes,
that's what they're gonna learn. Do you understand?
Yes, Queen.
That's it.
Nobody
is my people.
Nobody is shutting the door to everybody to what it's a human right to travel. In as much as you travel to our continent, we're also going to be traveling the world. If one door is locked, we're going to unlock another door. People have the right to self-determination and to travel wherever they want. And all this, we see all these dating platforms, all this and this and this, or even the services of babysitting and all. We have a lot of things to teach our people because traveling is business, is the biggest business. Even the idea of we saying refusing business visas.
Well, we can do it,
Refusing
we can do it, Tata.
Yes,
we can do it. I just need some people over there, and I'm in charge over there. So we can do it, and we can teach others how to do that business, because that's what this is about.
This is all that every single thing, everything, doctor, everything, Dr. Mélida, everything in this world is business.
Yes.
The whole world, from politics to economics to culture, it takes a long while for us to understand the business behind the business. And this is time we have to, when we say truth is not always just telling. If I tell my young people, know who you are, it means know how to deal with the world.
That's right.
Know how to deal with the world. If we teach them our history, it's teaching them the history of the business of knowing how to do business with the world. If we teach them, mentor them on the kind of businesses we have to do, we have to open up the avenues in which they can penetrate and actually interact and do these businesses with one another. Nobody, and there's no law that is forbidding people to the right of education and information. But the thing is, they will tell you, if you don't know, that's your business, isn't it? So the business of ignorance is even more bigger than the business of knowledge. So information is also a very big business.
That's right.
So Africans, is the time we, the mothers, the women, the girls, the young boys, the young men, the young everything, we're not going to politically be correct. We're just going to say exactly what you need to do to succeed in life, whether it is through marriage, whether it is through career, whether it is through job, whether it is through what, the law
Yes.
is there, the rights are there,
Mm-hmm.
isn't
Let's
it?
do it, Mama. We have to promote this right here and in other media, because if we don't, we're going to keep just talking. And I want everybody to remember this. Dr. Barrow is about action. Tata is about action. You are about action. So let's get with it. And I think it can be done. I think that we have the power within us. We sometimes don't trust ourselves. Fear holds us back. We have to motivate each other. We have to talk to each other. We have to understand that it is not your fault. None of this is your fault, but we can come out of what we are in now. You understand? And if like Tata said, hey, you are a mentor. I've been mentoring people all my life, even myself. You understand? So I know we can do it. I have a good feeling about what I'm getting ready to do because I've done it before in other countries. And Africa is not going to be, it's going to be a challenge because not everybody wants to wake up. And also, not everyone wants you to know the information outside of Africa.
Of course, that's why we're saying it's all business, my doctor. Fred Bantu is saying, can Africans be free? They're still hanging to religion, Christianity, in Islam. Fred, I want to make you understand, we are talking about the systematic ways of which people, do you know, people change even to become Muslims because they have advantages working with Muslims. There are organizations that would do business only with, because you're Islam and your background. Churches do business with churches because they say, oh, we are in the Jesus Christ thing. So, I mean, we believe in each other, so we can trade with each other. All these systems have a business background. If pan-Africanism is coming up now, is because, Melinda Harry is saying, oh, no, we need to teach our young people on this because that's African unity. That is also a business. So know the business behind the business. The only ignorance is when you go in with a mindset or the chip, like you said, to believe that there is something supernatural which is beyond your control. That might just be a mistake. But being into certain cults, as we say, whether it's a religion cult or something, most of this could facilitate the movement of business. So you want to deal with the Arab world, you need to be a Muslim, you tie your head so you can get business. You want to deal with Dubai, you go to Dubai is because your background is this. So we have to understand a lot of these setups from a business perspective, and I think that's where we're winning.
Right. That's where we're winning. And always remember this, the sky is not the limit. I have to throw that in there.
Never.
The reason you believe that the sky is the limit is because of the chip. Get the chip out and you would say, my mind is limitless. There's no way anything is limited. God could not create the world and the universe and still tell us that the sky is the limit. We say that because we were taught that. Take that chip out and let's start all over again. Thank you.
Hallelujah.
Thank you.
Oh my God, I'm loving this conversation because most of we've just been taught just to be passive. I read a comment from one youth on Pan-African Daily TV Facebook. I think that was 2 days ago, and he said, "Oh my God, how long have we just been fooled? I mean, we die and we're buried here on earth, and then they tell us that we're buried here on earth and then we'll live in heaven. How come? And the heaven is supposedly to mean the sky, you know." So
you know what? Yeah, but I'm gonna throw in this. You know why they're saying like to do that is because those that colonialized you, they want you to live a miserable life all your life. Meanwhile, they're living a good life. Your happiness come after death. Your happiness do not come after death. Your happiness is the now. So be happy and don't believe that. Get that chip out because there's so many things that we've been taught. And I'm glad you brought that up to say this to this young man. Live your life now. not after death. Because if I want to control you, that is something that I would tell you. Don't live it here. I can beat you. I can kill you. I can do all what I want to do to you. Just take it. Just take those blows. And then you will live happily after when you get to heaven. That's bull. That's bull. I'm living my life now. And I want everyone to live their life now. Hello.
Queen, Queen. I think even the conversation is not just going to be Queen. It's not just even going to be take the chip out of your. We are not going to even allow. We're going to whip the chip out of their heads. That's what the African mothers know how to do. So
that's
best.
the truth.
Through information, exactly what you're saying.
That's the truth.
Now is the time to whip out those chips in the right way.
It's the truth that get the chip out. Because
Absolutely.
You can't keep saying for the rest of your life that the sky is the limit. That's all your eyes can see. But somehow there's a universe. So if there's a universe, how can the sky be the limit? That is for you to think not limitless, but limited.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So I can't think in a limit. There's no way. I'm going to put it this way. There's no way I can worship a God that have me thinking in a way limited. God is not thinking. He created. He's a creator. He wants you to be a creator. Start creating one thing and see if you don't go to something else and something else and something else. Because your mind is not limited. It is limitless.
Oh my God. I want to just shout out to Stevie. Stevie was with us, in Panama. And that's why I say greetings, good people. Yeah, I'm telling you, when the women are waking up, the mothers of Africa are waking up, it's a whole fire. African Global is saying, I love this. Clifton said, I love this conversation. These people are charged up.
That's
exactly.
right.
We are coming for you. We're not going to be asking again. We're coming for our young people. We're coming exactly for you.
People. Yes.
And who is asking those questions?
Yes.
Who taught you that? Who taught you this?
Yeah. Well, no, this is another one for my young people. Well, for everybody. Where do you wear your watch? On what hand? Left.
Uh-huh.
To the left. You wear your watch on the left. Why? The chip.
The chip. Mm-hmm.
I don't wear my watch on my left hands anymore. You know why? Because
I don't even know which ones. For me, a watch on my hand is just a decoration. If you ask me what time this one is, I just wear I wear beads.
Right. But what I'm saying is, your colonializers would know if you still under control of from the beginning when they taught you something, you're still doing it. You haven't freed your mind yet. You see, that's a code. They still want to know if those are the things that they taught you, if you are still doing it. Okay. You are still doing it.
Or even keeping the time. Or even keeping the time. Not just even only the watch, but even keeping the time.
So when you decide, so when you decide not to wear it on the left hand and wear it on the right hand, this is what they're going to say. Damn, she woke up.
She woke up.
She woke up. She took that damn chip out. Or she's waking up. You understand what I'm saying?
How are we going to do to screw another one in? My queen. That's what I'm thinking. Right. Like, oh my God.
They're not coming back because you are awake. What's happening now? Africa was in a coma. Now Africa is waking up. But you still have a long way to go if you're not mentored, if you're not receiving the truth, if you don't know. But once the information is given to you, knowledge, once you awake, man, I am telling you, I don't know what's going to happen to the world. Once you wake up, once you get rid of that chip, hey.
They will start behaving like us. they just
Yes.
don't get it. I think
No,
sometimes they say, oh my God, these African queens are just crazy around the place, but they don't understand when you untie it, you be
no,
like,
no. You see, I
no, but
can personally say I love Tata. I love that woman. But you know why I can say that? Because I know who I am.
yes,
This is no longer about where I'm from. This is about self-love. I
yes.
just love myself so much
Mm-hmm,
that I can love her without not knowing her.
mm-hmm,
You understand?
mm-hmm,
But when you start picking and choosing where's she from, what language does she speak,
mm-hmm.
no, she
Or
doesn't
how
look
does she
pretty.
look?
And how
Or
does she look?
there's also a narrative that, oh, because you're an African queen, you cannot look beautiful. Or no,
That's
you
right.
cannot be styled. You
That's
cannot be
right.
modern because you're
That's,
African queen. I say no, you just need to know what is in your
that's
head.
right.
You can be anything you want to be, like you
That's
said.
right.
There is no limit. Allow the women to feel free in their looks, in their everything, in as
Yeah,
much as it works.
that's
It's
right.
good, isn't
That's
it?
right. That's right. And one of the things that I discovered is that you don't have to name me queen. I was born a queen. If most women can say that in the world, I'm a queen already. I have that crown from I was born, that confidence, that knowing who you are, that good feeling about yourself.
Oh my
You
God.
count for the world.
Say
Ah!
it. Say it. Say it. It's hot
You
inside
understand
here.
what I'm saying? Because now you know who you are. So if you know who you are, you're already a queen. What is the definition of a queen? Huh?
Mm-hmm.
I know who I am. I know
Yes.
my people. I
Yes.
take care of my people.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Why you
Mm-hmm.
think Dr. Harris is running all over the place? I'm
Mm-hmm.
taking care and helping my people. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Self-love. When you have self-love, you do not go by a flag. You do not go by the name of the country where you were born. This is just natural because you have self-love within.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
understand?
Yes,
And
I
that's
think
very important for little girls to know.
yes. I think also one thing that is misleading, or particularly in the face of pan-Africanism. Pan-Africanism has just been so stereotyped and so bamboozled in such a way that African unity, I think we start replacing Pan-African with African unity, so people actually get. You made a
Yeah.
point that is very important when you said nothing is limit, that nobody should limit you. So, but I think, or what we teach is the flag is not a bad thing, but don't be limited to the flag. When we
Mhm.
teach to say we want to do business with ourselves, we do business also with the world. But if I know who I am, I will know how to negotiate.
That's
I
right.
do business with everybody, Chinese, Indians,
That's
business,
right.
everything. But I
Mhm.
know to negotiate from a point of an African. I don't
Yes.
negotiate just like I don't know. And I think that's why most of these are contracts, colonial contracts, are still binding because there were a lot of clauses inside that they never actually really understood. And if they
Right.
don't understand the world system, just like Professor James Moore is saying, it's difficult actually to do business if you don't understand
Right.
the Chinese, they negotiate from the point of a Chinese. But
Mhm.
somehow, because of this international, global African system thing, that was, I mean, that was colonized
Right.
in us. Decolonizing doesn't mean somebody hates somebody. Decolonizing
Exactly.
just means I
Exactly.
win from my point of view. If I
That's
sit on the table to negotiate business with you, I don't have to feel I'm an African and I'm poor, so I lose my face in that business
right.
deal. No. On
Yes.
the contrary, if I know that you need me more than I need you, I will
Yes.
negotiate that deal differently.
That's
If I
right.
know
There
that
you
you
go.
need
I
me
love
to
that.
get my resources,
That's
that
what I
deal will be
do.
spoken differently, isn't it?
That's right.
Negotiate. Yes.
That's right. That's right. Well, thank you guys. I keep saying thank you guys. I'm running now. I must have said that 10 times, Tata. But I want to thank you, Tata, for allowing me to be here on your show. There's more to come. Once I get to Nigeria, I'm going to be showing you guys the things that I'm doing. I hope that I get that support there in Nigeria and around Africa. You don't have to be in Nigeria to give me the support. There's time now for action. We're getting ready to do some great things there, and we hope that everything goes well. And I know it will, because I already have some people, my youths, they're doing the logistics, they're doing pretty much everything. And I want to thank His Royal Highness in Abuja also, for really believing in me, and so forth. I have to, let me see if I know that sometimes I don't pronounce name right, but his name is His Royal King Promise. Promises is the name that he used. And I want to thank you for not allowing, but for helping me to get this done. And others, my youth ambassadors, they are also going to be helping me. And then Tata, of course, thank you that you are also going to allow us to come on a show once in a while to give you guys update, because I want to show you guys Dr. Melida Harris Barrow is about action. What I say is going to happen. And Tata also. Mwah. I love you guys.
We love you too. We love you much more. Thank you so
All
very
right.
much.
Sure.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Okay.
Bye. Bye. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Wow. Good, 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 good. People, this is hard here. Thank you, thank you, thank you, this beautiful family. Thank you for also giving Dr. Melida, is a queen mother of Panama City, the voice, because she's going through your chats. All the comments that you were commenting in the chat are so beautiful. And that's why we love Pan-African Daily TV family. You are so special. We are not that kind of a dry community. When I say dry, like emotionless, like when our guests come here, everybody that comes in greet someone else. That's the spirit that we have here. And that's the spirit of one Africa. That's the spirit of Pan-Africanism. That's the spirit of Africa unity. That's the spirit of who we truly are. And we want to keep doing that as much as we continue. Now, if you know somebody that is doing a massive or a big project in your community and you want us to talk to them, please make sure you share our contact, panafricandailytv@gmail.com. We need more voices of mothers, of girls and women that are coming up to actually share the part of it. We understand the leadership, we understand our elders, we understand everybody that is doing something very great, to educate our people. But like I said, if you can speak, you can talk, you can tell a story. All right. So one of the things that we're looking forward to do is not just only like you see, you just heard that it's about action now. We do the talking, we do our conversation, we listen to our elders who have been mentoring for 60, 70 years. These are the ones that sit down and give us, the feedback of how it should go, also depending in our area and our time zone and in our generations as well. But of course, we do have young people that are doing a lot of work in the background, and nobody's telling their story, because the business of media and information and education, you see the three things. Media is the weapon of education, of information. But of course, some media racistfully, just like they do in everything, use the propaganda. The propaganda is a big business. Like we say, every single thing that was created, particularly when we came in contact, with the other races, most races depend on business to survive. So we say freedom is not just only for the Africa. Freedom is a word that was given to all the races, or the race and the tribes and the nations of the world. And most people only just did abuse it wrongly. But freedom is the choice of every nation or people seeking for survival. That's why the business of slavery or colonization was about survival. Okay? the business of raw materials or whatever we is about. It's a business of somebody always wanting to take something from somebody, and if possibly don't pay. You know, just take something from somebody, possibly without paying anything. But the fair business comes in now when you take, I take, and we meet in the middle and we can negotiate. And you say, okay, that's good for me. That's good for me. It works for both of us. But literally, unfortunately, it's very little that does that. But in the business of communication, in the business of whatever thing it is, whether you call it freedom, even if the Caucasians, they're looking for freedom every day. Do you think they're free? Okay, so the privilege are those that think, okay, my life now, even if you go to the highest or the leaders, they still want something. They still also want freedom. Even when they have money, they want freedom for something else. So they want happiness. And if the happiness is not coming, then they just into something. You look at why, the reason why most people are frustrated. They get into drugs, they get into abuses, to get into, because sometimes they want all the things that they call freedom. So whatever freedom means for you, you just need to understand the fair business in the business of freedom. If I want to liberate, then I don't have to step on somebody to liberate, because I'm already just causing another problem that is going to give another effect. We get it, right? So I'm very happy the business of taking our young people to the next level. I saw African Global. Actually, I'm really, really concerned when I hear such comments here when he texts and said, we literally don't understand how the world functions because we've never traveled. And it's true, because traveling alone is the business of information and education. Okay, traveling is not only just about the biggest reason why some visas, or for whatever reason, apart from the fact that visas refusal, is just the inability for somebody not wanting you to come and get his knowledge, because that knowledge is too much money. So Dr. Melida is saying, we're taking the lead, not just Dr. Melida, also saying it's time for us to go and preach the good gospel, how to empower and mentor to our youth to be in touch. So knowing the world, you need to follow Pan-African Daily TV. If you're not following us, please make sure you do it now. And as I'm speaking, African Global, I see it's like you're really new here. And even the questions you ask, and I love the way you ask them. And I want to thank a VS Banker who has actually also been responding to that, kind of like oriented him. Like the first time when he said, what is the cheap? I don't understand. What is the cheap? Is Dr. Belinda is talking too much about the cheap. What is the cheap? So a lot of things have been coded, and that's why we break it down to our young people to understand. So, but anyway, let me wish you a happy Friday evening. Friday is the day where people relax, go out. Most people are free today. They take days off to spend time, at home after working the whole day or the whole week. They just switch off and to relax on a Friday. Please, I wish you a lot of fun. If you're that a Friday person, please just relax. Take your time, just switch off, turn off your mobile if that's what is going to distract you. After watching Pan-African Daily TV, now you just want to relax in your dark room or in your corner, or you want to go out and celebrate and hang out with people. Please do that. Anything that sets the boundaries out of your surrounding is called freedom. Anything that is fulfilling to you, how you run your life, and you are fulfilled by that. You sleep, you don't have to think, you don't have to worry, or even if you think, it's still part of life. That is freedom. So freedom is exactly how you perceive the inability for you to interact with people in a way that you have your space, that you determine what you do at an expense of whatever price you want to do. So freedom is a word that you can put it in any context. It's going to fit really according to how you want it to be. No other person. When we talk about mental slavery or the knowledge of yourself, is just knowing how to be able to get your freedom. And like we say all the time, nobody's going to give it to you, because freedom is not something that they give in a piece of basket. We talk about reparations today, every day. The reparations, if they carry all the reparations, give it to African leaders, they're going to steal the money. Some of them would really abuse it and use it. Is that freedom? So a lot of, we talk about justice. How much is justice? Like, just like we were saying, we talk about riches. How much is riches? So do justice to yourself. That's why the knowledge of self, the knowledge of understanding who you are, is key to everything in life. If you just know who you are, means I know my capabilities, I know my potentials, I know my opportunities, I know my gift, I know my talent, I also know my bad habits, I also know my karma, I also know my own weakness. That's the freedom. The biggest freedom is to free yourself. Not anybody is going to teach you how to free. Anything that we do, or like Dr. Melida was saying, is the mentoring of how you can use your knowledge to be able to access things that you want for your life. Do you want to be successful in business? Then you have the knowledge. All right, I don't know this, then I can give it. And that's called education. But of course, we do understand that the background why we didn't understand this knowledge is just because we never actually really knew how or what it was to be able to do that. So, but now we are on track. Particularly the business of building Africa is the business of building ourselves as a collective. Because if I'm happy, automatically you feel it. I just share happiness. I share happiness because I'm happy. If I have love, I just love everybody. That is why it's difficult for somebody to tell you I'm in love and they cannot love the next person. It's not possible. Anybody, even just casual love, like man and woman fall in love, you know, they feel something for someone, one another. If a man is in love, you know. If a woman is in love, you know it. You know, she just does everything. She glows, she smiles, everything is just beautiful. She's not going to be talking about all these things that we're talking here. Sometimes women that are in love, oh, they're just busy loving. Men that are in love, they're just busy gluing to each other and just doing some of those things. That's what love is, when people are in love. But you can see that people talk that love, but they literally are not in love, because love, you don't need to say it. That's why all this, oh, I love you, oh, I do this. Yeah, if you are an egoistic person and you want somebody to always tell you that, that's why you'll be fooled. But if you love yourself from yourself, you don't need somebody to tell you I love you, because you love yourself. And you love yourself. That exchange is just like somebody giving you flowers. I bring you a basket of flowers. If you don't give me flowers, I'll still be who I am. Okay? I'll still be without flowers and I'll still shine. So we need to understand all of these things. That power to free yourself should not be dependent on anybody. It has to come from you. And now, how to get it if you have some limitations, if you don't know how to really use that power, you don't know how to use your potentials and your opportunity, we can teach you. And we're not teaching you because we have the monopoly of knowledge. It's through our experiences. Because every single steps you'll be making as a youth, there is somebody that have been there. And they've made a lot of experiences. So you don't need to go through the same things again to do the same mistakes. Why? You just need to walk now, you know. That's why we say we as Africans, we don't give back to our generations, because everybody is just choked up in their own challenges, in their own, you know, difficulties, that it's difficult to look back and give, because that love is not there. So the freedom is the love within us. Because when you have abundance of love, you just give it. You shine like you always are. Doesn't mean you're not also getting difficulties or challenges. Of course you do. But even the too much love is too much abundance for you. So I want to leave you this weekend or today, particularly with that word. Find your freedom within you. And anything that makes you really happy, in as much as you are not stepping on somebody's toes, in as much as I don't hurt you by being happy, that's fair. That's the law of my art. That's the law of nature. That's the law of ancestors, the ancestors that were also good. It's not every ancestors that were good. Most ancestors were witches too, right? So we need to call it by their name. If my father is my ancestor, and then I know from the way my father. But if my father was abusive or my mother abandoned me, I'm not going to pray to that ancestor. Come on, right? So there are a lot of things we need to separate. We need to separate a lot of things and put them where they belong. Exactly, Sister Synovia said, networking together. What do I have? What do you have? And we bring it together. That's just networking. And nobody's going to teach us that because we knew it from our ancient times. That's how our parents raised us up. It's just now what is different is the term networking. That is it. And then we begin to feel, oh, networking, collaboration, partnership. Of course, it's not being spoken in Swahili. It's not in Meta. It's not in Chui language. That's why it's confusing because we keep thinking they're new theories. When somebody said, let's partner, let's collaborate, let's network, and some people are like, oh, I need to go and learn what is network marketing. What is partnership marketing? What is this? You do those things every single day, but you just didn't call it networking. Right now, we're networking. But we just don't call it. If we don't call it like that, then it doesn't make sense. Okay. So we have to simplify a lot of things. There's just a lot of things that are looking so big. Those mountains before us, or those bridges that we cannot bridge, it just seems impossible because you are not free. If you cannot free, you cannot liberate your mind, and you cannot even talk of liberating somebody else. So teaching by experience is what we're going to do. That's what we've been doing. We take from the elders, the Professor James Moore, all these scholars, and we give it over. Networking, collaboration, partnership. So please enjoy your beautiful Friday evening, and we will see us here tomorrow on this note. Honestly, this guy here, let me show you. You all know him. You all know this guy here. You see his mouth on the microphone? He's not just talking. This is Farouk Al-Wahab. Farouk Al-Wahab is one of the founding members of Pan-African Daily. When I say founding members, I mean like the people that all these scholars are the people that started speaking and teaching us what Africa is, from geography to politics to history to even understand what Pan-Africanism or Ubuntu or all these words, because these are people that have been there. So tomorrow, Al has time for us, and he's going to be educating us on the topic global geopolitics. How should we stay united in the midst of all this? How do we stay focused? Of course, he's going to touch on the Sahel. He's going to touch on, he's the African encyclopedia. Not just African encyclopedia, but he's an international consultant in terms of diplomacy. You know what I mean? And it's just simple to say he's going to teach us how to unlock the lies that we see most of the time. Because people have never questioned, what is diplomacy? What is that word, diplom and macy? If you break them, oh, please don't go on ChatGPT or DeepSeek or all those things, or go to Wikipedia. No, you can never find it there. What is diplomacy is not described, because diplomacy doesn't have a meaning. They just do the action. Doesn't have a meaning. So for instance, when somebody lie or want to say, let's say, be diplomatic. What does that mean? Be diplomatic. Oh, no, you are not diplomatic. It means you did not just quote the lie that you were saying. You just speak too much truth. You just say some things that, she was not diplomatic because you just call a spade a spade. Normally, you should take a spade and wrap it and say, there's a spade under here, but now what you're seeing is a cloth. So this is exactly the point. And that's why I love us to talk about diplomacy. We have to talk about politics and all that, because they're just not what it is. They don't have meanings. It's the actions that actually tell you the meanings of those words. Okay. So yes, we're going to decode that. So tomorrow we're going to have Farouk Al-Wahab on the show. It's been a long time. That's one of my favorite guests. I cannot lie to you, because he breaks down the kind of political small needles that we don't get to hear about, because most speakers are diplomatically correct. But Farouk, no, he's not. He's truly a diplomat that knows how to coin it. So let us meet here tomorrow. It's going to be a powerful show. Then the whole of next week, we're totally really, I can say we're booked, And I don't know how we're going to do that, but Tuesday we have a guest, Wednesday we have a guest, Thursday we have a guest, Friday we have a guest. And I think I'll just have to select which ones we're going to be doing depending on our time and our availability. Please consider subscribing, consider donating, consider visiting the news page, and other pages are coming as we speak. Okay. So, yes, I wish you a good night and we see us. I'm laughing because now we start saying a lot of those things that we usually wouldn't have said. So thank you so very much. It's a pleasure to build a One Africa by Africans. Good night to you. We see us tomorrow with Farouk Al Wahab. Thank you. Bye. You are watching the Pan-African Daily TV with Dr. Susan Tata. The Africa we want: unity, consciousness, our culture, our spirituality, our history. One Africa for Africans worldwide. Motherland's calling its diaspora home. Join my voice. Join my team. Join my campaign. Campaign 21 hashtag 1 million subscribers on the Pan-African Daily TV YouTube. Be a volunteer. Apply now. Be the new Africa.